Ladies, being an old school romantic in a hookup culture is a special kind of hell. A special kind of hell, right? Not a minor inconvenience, all right? Not a phase you grow out of. Absolutely not. Not a specific kind of thing that you get over. No. But it is a special, specific, deeply personal kind of hell that only women who believe in real love actually understand. And if you felt that in your body when I said it, then I want you to stay with me because this video is for you. This video is not for the version of you that is pretending to be fine. This video is not for the version of you that goes home after another disappointing date and wonders what is actually wrong with these men out here. Okay, this video is definitely for you if you feel that way, because I used to believe that love would find me if I was good enough, because that's how I was raised, right? I was raised that I had to be good enough. That love would find me if I was attractive enough, or if my body looked good enough, or if I was making my own money, or if I had my own place that was decorated to the nines, or if I was independent, self-sufficient, and I didn't need a man to take care of me. I absolutely thought that that is what a man would want, a self-sufficient woman who isn't a burden, right? Or perhaps good enough at pretending that I was fine with more less than what I actually deserved, right? And you know what got me? That got me a front row seat to my own disappointment. So I want to say something about that out loud that nobody in the dating space is saying to women like you or women like me before I got married. And the thing is that nothing is wrong with you, but some things need to change. And we're going to talk about exactly what those things are that need to change. So, if you are not sure if you're an old school romantic, or if you're not sure what that is, or if you fit that category, then let me enlighten you a little bit. Because I'm not talking about a woman who watches romantic comedies by candlelight, right? Or with a huge glass of wine. I'm talking about a woman who believes that love should feel like something beautiful, that a man should pursue you with intention, that courtship is not prehistoric, that consistency is not too much to ask for, and that someone choosing you deliberately and out loud is not an unrealistic fantasy. That woman, that is who I'm talking to. And that woman, if that's you, she is suffering, and she's suffering right now, right? And the reason why she's suffering is because the dating landscape has been completely restructured around the emotional comfort of men who don't want to commit. All right? I'm going to say that again to make sure the people in the back heard me. The entire modern dating culture has been restructured around the emotional comfort and sexual convenience of men who do not want to be held accountable to anyone or to anything. And you are trying to find real love inside of that system. And that is why it feels like a special kind of hell. So here's the first thing that I need you to understand, right? Because your romantic nature, despite what you think, it's not a weakness. And if you're a woman like me, then you understand that your romantic nature, it's a weapon. And right now, you are pointing that beautiful weapon at the wrong targets, all right? Because you're pouring depth and heft into men who are still deciding if they're even remotely interested in you, right? You are giving patience to men who have not yet earned it. You are being emotionally generous with men who are treating your generosity like it's a free buffet, honey. And then you wonder why you feel depleted. You are not depleted because you love too much. You are depleted because you are spending your love in the wrong places with the wrong men at the wrong time in their lives. So, baby girl, that ends today. Now, your romanticism, what it is it's a filter. It's not a flaw. And I want you to start using it like a filter, right? What do I mean by that? The moment a man shows you that he is not interested in building something real with you, believe him. Don't therapize him, right? Don't wait for him to evolve. Do not be patient with men who has already shown you who he really is, right? Who they really are. That man, I want you to let him go. And I want you to let him go quickly with your dignity fully intact. Because every man you hold on to past his expiration date is taking up space that belongs to somebody else who deserves to be in your life, right? So, with that being said, I want to shift gears a little bit and talk to you about something that nobody wants to say out loud. And what that is that your standards are not the problem. What the problem is your tolerance. You tolerate way too much. And what hurts most is that you know it, right? You will tell me you want a man who pursues you, right? If you're a client of mine, that's what you'll tell me. You want a man who pursues you. But you're the first one texting every single time. If you're a client of mine, you will tell me that you want consistency, right? Great. But you are excusing his 3-day disappearing acts because he came back with a good excuse. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, reason. If you're in my cohort, you will tell me that you want something real, that you want real love. But right now, you are in a situationship and you're seeing where things go. What I need for you to do is I need you to hear this. Right? And I will need you to hear that the gap between what you say you want and what you are actually accepting is where your romantic nature goes to die. That gap is not about your standards being too high. That gap is about your tolerance being too wide. And high achieving women like us, we're especially vulnerable to this because we're problem solvers, right? We fix things. We see potential in people. We see potential in opportunity. We are used to investing in things that have not yet paid off. And we're used to watching projects that we get involved in grow until they become something great. We're used to men being our pet projects. And that works in business, but it will be destroyed in love because a man, honey, he's not a startup. He's not a project. You can't fund him with your emotional patience. You can't fund him with your emotional labor and your willingness to wait and expect him to eventually IPO into the partner that you deserve. Either he's already moving towards you with intention or he's not. There's no gray area. And if he is not, it is not your job to force him, cajole him, influence him, or inspire him. Your job is to leave. That's right. I said it. All right. So let me give you something that will change how you date forever. Because this hookup culture did not ruin men. All right. What it did was it revealed which ones were always lazy. Seriously, think about it. The man who disappeared the moment commitment became mandatory, those men were never going to show up for you fully anyway. What the culture did was the culture just gave them an exit ramp that did not exist before. So stop grieving the culture and start reading the men in front of you. And I want you to start reading these men more accurately, because here is what is also true. Are you ready? There are men right now, real men, intentional men, men who want to build something, who are just as frustrated with this hookup culture as you are. You have a lot of men out here who are tired of women who are only focused on the superficial. You have men who want to pursue women that's worth pursuing. You know, there are men who are wholeheartedly ready and willing to step into something real. Those men do exist. And I need you to believe that with everything in you. Those men, the ones that you desire, they exist. But you will never find them if you are still giving your time and energy to men who have already told you through their behaviors that they're not the one. The man for you will not need you to convince him to choose you. He will not need you to make it easy for him to pursue you. He will not need a situationship to warm up to the idea of commitment with you. He will see you and he will move. He will move towards you. And your job is to stay available for that particular man, not emotionally available to every man who shows up with a little bit of charm and zero follow through. Because here is one of the most painful truths I'm going to have to share with you. You are not hard to love. You are hard to manipulate. And some men have confused the two things. And sadly, so have you. Because when a man tells you that you are too much, he is not overwhelmed by your depth. What he is he's inconvenienced by your discernment. You see through casual and you require real. You cannot be strung along indefinitely because at some point your self respect surfaces and you start asking questions that he doesn't want to answer. That, my love, is a gift. And I want you to start to use it because that is a threat detection operating exactly as it should. And the right man will not call you too much. He will see you, he will feel you, and he will say, finally, he found you. Because he has been looking for a woman who's not willing to negotiate herself down to a smaller version of what she thinks men would want her to be. He wants a woman who is clear. He wants a woman who is warm, but not desperate. Baby, don't be desperate. He wants a woman who knows what love is supposed to feel like and refuses to pretend that something lesser is good, right? He wants a woman that is magnetic to him, knowing that he is the right one for her, all right? And let me tell you why these are the things that men want. Specifically, men of high value, right? Specifically, men who are emotionally available and intentional about building a life. Because they are not necessarily looking for a low maintenance woman. That is a myth told to you by men who only wanted access to you without accountability. What a genuinely strong and emotionally mature man is looking for is a woman with standards that he actually respects. He wants to respect her standards. He wants a woman who challenges him to rise. He wants a woman whose love means something because she does not give it away to every Tom, Dick, and Harry that comes her way that shows just a little bit of effort. Okay? He wants you to be that woman, that convicted woman, that unapologetic woman, and he wants you to be her, right? Now, I want to talk to you about something that's going to sting a little bit. And that is that a lot of romantic women tend to get taken advantage of. God, do I know that. All right. And it's not because they love too deeply, it's because they mistake intensity for intimacy, right? He texts you every day. He says all of the right things. He calls you all the time. He makes you feel seen in a way that nobody has in a long time. And your romantic brain, you translate that into all things love, or at least in the very beginning stages of love, right? But that's intensity. It's not intimacy. Intensity is easy. All right. Any man with a smartphone and a little creativity can manufacture intensity. However, intimacy, oh, intimacy costs something. Intimacy is what happens when a man shows up for you when it is inconvenient for him. All right. Intimacy is when he has um, a hard conversation with you instead of going quiet. Right. Intimacy is when he chooses you in public and not in private. Intimacy is when he does something that requires him to sacrifice his comfort for yours. Okay. And that level of intimacy takes time to reveal itself. So the next time a man comes in hot with attention and with all the words and with all the energy, don't let your romantic heart run ahead and think that's evidence. No, 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 baby girl. I want you to stay present, stay grounded, and watch what he does when the initial rush wears off, right? Because the man who is right for you will not just be intense in the beginning, he will be consistent over time. And consistency is the only currency that actually matters in love. Trust me. Trust me on this one. All right. So let's shift gears a little bit, right? And I want us to talk about something that a lot of high achieving women get completely wrong when it comes to dating, right? You being so accustomed to being the most competent person in the room. And you, yes, you, you bring all of that energy into your romantic life and then wonder why a man feels unnecessary around you. I am not saying shrink yourself. I would never tell you to do that. But what I want you to understand and what I'm trying to say is that there is a difference between being a powerful woman and over functioning in a relationship, right? I still, married 16 years in, catch myself over functioning and have to stop. That's just part of who we are. And most of us don't know where that line is because no one taught us. So here are a few examples of what overfunctioning looks like. Take it from an overfunctioning person herself, right? You plan every date because you don't trust him to get it right. Sounds familiar? You send the very first text message or call every morning because there's uncertainty in waiting for him to do it. You fill every silence with logic and strategy because, oh my God, vulnerability feels like exposure, heaven forbid. And what you are doing without realizing is that you're removing every opportunity for him to pursue you. You see, a man who wants to claim you kind of needs some room to do it. Not because he's fragile, but because pursuit is how he discovers that you are worth pursuing, that you are worth fighting for. And if you've done everything for him, you've done all the pursuit for him, then he's got nothing to discover about you or about what the two of you could be. So in the space of pursuit, let him lead. Because in this space of letting him lead, you allow for a man to rise up to meet you. And the right men, absolutely. The right one will absolutely rise. So here's something that I want you to sit with because, you can't pussyfoot around your standards and expect a man to take you seriously, right? If you are burying what you want on the third date because you don't want to scare him off, well, you've already told him that your standards are negotiable. And we both know that your standards are not negotiable, and that's not what you want. So here's the thing that quality men that a lot of women seem to not understand is that they are not looking for a woman without needs. They are not attracted to a woman who asks for nothing and accepts everything. You see, that kind of woman doesn't challenge men, right? That kind of woman doesn't inspire men, right? That kind of woman doesn't aid a man in wanting to make him better. But what a healthy and emotionally mature man is drawn to, he's drawn to a woman who knows exactly what she wants and holds that with grace, not aggression, not a checklist on the first date, although I did do that in the past. But a quiet, unshakable clarity about who she is and what she will and will not accept. That clarity is not intimidating to the right man. That clarity, my love, is intoxicating to the right man. So stop hiding what you want. Stop making yourself more palatable, more easy for men who are not going to stay with you anyway. Right? I want you to stand in your full desire for real love out loud without apology. And the man who is right for you will not run from that. If anything, he will run towards it. All right? So now I want to talk about your environment for a minute because this one is important, right? And this is the part about being single, being a romantic single in a hookup culture that no one addresses, and it's quietly killing your romantic prospects. And what that is that you cannot protect a romantic spirit while constantly surrounding yourself with people who are cynical about love and men. I'm talking about the friend group that celebrates every situationship you escape, but quietly makes you feel naive for wanting something real, right? You have to stop listening to those podcasts that have convinced you that all men are dogs and that, they're only good for the tool that's in between their legs. Like, if that's not what you want, stop consuming that. You have to stop, letting the social media algorithm that feeds you content about how love is dead and women should just focus on themselves, start to look at different things to change that algorithm because all of that is slowly eroding your belief in what is possible. And a woman who has stopped believing in love, even quietly, even while still actively dating, she is energetically giving off that resignation in ways that she cannot always see. It's in how quickly she dismisses someone before giving him a real chance. It's in how guarded she is on the first date. It's in how she talks about men in general. It's always the bitterness that started to creep up in her humor about relationships. I need you to protect your belief in love the same way you would protect your career, the same way you would protect your bottom line. I want you to start to protect your belief in love aggressively. I want you to protect your belief in love intentionally without apology. All right? Because that means that you're going to, at some point in time, start curating what you consume, right? Following relationship experts who are putting out positive messages about love, relationships, and men. Let's start following us, right? You want to start studying couples who built something that's lasting and beautiful. You want to stay close to people who believe that love is still real and worth pursuing and worth fighting for. Because the woman who still believes is radically different from the woman who's given up. And men, let me tell you, sis, men, they feel the difference from like across the room. And here's the thing about that one man that you desire, that one man that you're looking for, right? I want you to know that he's not a fantasy. He is a real human being. He is a real person. And he has his own wounds as well, and his own history, and his own fears about love. But guess what, sis? He's ready. And that's the difference. All right. He's not emotionally unavailable. He's emotionally available. Is not still healing from his last relationships. He healed. And he's keeping his options open for you. He is a man who has done enough of his own work to be ready to build something real and something beautiful with the right woman. And he is looking for you too. Okay. But here is what will determine whether or not you find each other. You want to know what that is? Sis, it's your posture. It's your posture. The woman who finds that man is not the woman who is still punishing every man for what the last man did. She is not the woman who goes into every date looking for red flags before she even ordered her drink. The woman who finds that man, she stays curious. She stays open. Um, she doesn't make him pay for someone else's sins, right? And she holds with real conviction the belief that her story is still being written. That is not toxic positivity. That is a strategic emotional posture, because the version of you that has quietly given up will never be able to receive what the version of you still believes in love can. All right? So let me bring this home, because I want you to walk away from this video with something real, right? And I want you to do something for me, right? This is what I need you to do. I need you to stop treating your romantic nature like a liability. It's not a liability, it's a filter. I want you to use this filter to close the gap between what you say you want and what you are actually tolerating. Your standards mean nothing if your behavior keeps contradicting them. Read men by their behavior and nothing else. Not their words, not their potential, not the story you have constructed about who they are or what they could become, not how good the sex is, because that also dulls what you should be looking for, but with what they do. And if they do that consistently over time, that is the only truth that matters. Also, there's another thing I want you to do or stop doing. I want you to stop overfunctioning. And I want you to create space for him to pursue you, for him to chase you. Girl, there's nothing like the chase. Okay? A man who wants you will fill that space. He will chase you. A man who does not reveal himself in silence, okay? You want a man who's vocal about you, who will protect your environment. He will curate what you consume, and all the things that you consume about him will be beautiful. Stay close to people who believe in love. All right? I want you to feed your romantic spirit deliberately without apology. And then last but not least, I want you to hold on to the vision. Even when the evidence is thin, Even when the last man you dated disappointed you, even when it feels naive to still believe in love, hold on to that vision anyway. Hold on to that idea of romanticism anyway, because the woman who holds it is fundamentally different from the woman who let it go. Okay? And that difference, beautiful, that difference is everything. All right? You are not too romantic for this world. You are exactly romantic enough for the right man who will appreciate your romanticism and who is out there. And he is looking for a woman who still believes that he exists. All right? Be her. Okay? Now, if this video hits you somewhere real, share it with the woman in your life who needs to hear this today, right? And if you are ready to stop leaving your love life to chance and start dating with the kind of clarity and intention that actually draws the right man in, girlfriend, click the link below because that is where we can go deeper together. All right? So, with that being said, I will see you in the next video. And as always, my loves, stay beautiful.